I'm going to make a crab meat salad using pasteurized lump crab meat. You can buy fresh, but you have to be very careful that's at a reputable place. If it's sitting on the ice too long, it can spoil. Now, we have Swiss chard, spinach, mushrooms sliced up to go in. The Portebello is going to be the cup holding the salad. A lot of ingredients here, but you know what? It's going to come out nice. Red onion to go in with it, garlic, avocado, plum tomatoes because I like the shape after you slice them, lemon juice, olive oil for the dressing, or your favorite dressing, whatever you like. And the reason we are going to wilt the Swiss chard and the spinach, why? Because I want to see a lot of crab meat in the salad. And this is bulky item, the spinach, the Swiss chard, even the mushrooms. I want everything in there with the crab meat, but I want to see a lot of crab meat. And I'm not going to use 4 cans of crab meat in order to do that. So slightly cook these 2 items. They will shrivel up to nothing, and the mushrooms with the garlic, and then toss it in with the crab meat gently. It'll be beautiful. So let's get started. First thing is take the fins out of the mushroom with a spoon, pulling it towards you, keeping the mushroom firm in the palm of your hand, pressing against it. That way you will not be tearing any of the mushroom cap, like so. All the fins come out, then we will start. So the mushrooms have been cleaned, rinsed off, placed in the skillet like so. You can steam them, but I want to use one piece of equipment this time. Just with a moderate flame. We're just going to cook these for a few minutes to slightly soften them. We want them firm to hold the salad to look presentable on the plate. So that's the first thing we're going to do. While that's going on, now you cut up and dice up whatever you have to. 2 minutes on one side, I just turn them over, another 2 minutes, and we'll be done. I have it on very slow, so it's kind of like steaming. Very important step, put a little salt and pepper. Everything that is in the recipe has to be seasoned, or else when you cut into the mushroom, it'll be bland. And that is enough. Now raise the flame just a hair, bring over the mushroom and garlic. Any mushroom, your favorite. We'll saute that for a minute. Little salt and pepper mix, that's my sea salt. Notice, I say this all the time, how it's not pure white, hasn't been refined as much. That's a good thing. Just a little shot of olive oil on top of that. The olive oil on the recipe only has to do with the dressing, the amount. So this is going to go. We're going to cook this for a few seconds. On high. To quicken it, put a lid on it. That's how fast this cooks. And why am I using such a big pot? I want to saute that Swiss chard and spinach very fast. As soon as it's wilted nicely, we're going to throw it into a colander that's in the sink. We're not looking to reserve any of the juices on this recipe. So I'll keep the film going because I want you to see this without saying, well, do this for 2 minutes, do that for 1 minute. So any mushroom you like. I just happen to have these baby bellas laying around, so I'm using them. But I would prefer the button domestic mushrooms to give off such a nice flavor. Nothing wrong with these. They're in the same family as the Portebello. So this is a rather quick recipe. And then we're going to cool all of this mix off. See, that's enough of that. Now we add the Swiss chard and the spinach, and you see how it shrinks in size, and it'll give us a stronger flavor in the salad without adding a lot of bulk. So you got to easy with the salt on this, because it shrinks up to nothing, but the salt flavor doesn't shrink. And we'll only give it a couple of minutes in the colander, because as it's compressed like that, sitting and very, very hot, all you do is want to get the juice out of it and not let it turn an off green color. So this is a high flame. And what's good about this, the mushrooms give off a little moisture, and so does the spinach and greens. No, I forgot what they're called again. And what's nice about them, you get nice red color in there. You know, there are other items you could add to this. I just happen to choose these because I said, let's go really healthy on this. And everything in this recipe happens to be healthy. Now, if you don't like crab meat, you just go with the vegetables. Okay, that's good enough. Now you put this in a colander and watch how it'll shrink up even more from the heat. Now, as you can see, what we started off with and what we have now, and all that juice is just dripping off. A couple of minutes in there, and then we put this on a plate and throw it into the refrigerator. After it's cooled down 100%, we will toss everything with it, with the crab meat, and we have our salad. Now I'm going to go and just cut up the tomato and the avocado, mix that with the dressing so the avocado doesn't turn, and we'll see how nice this comes out. Now it's been 2 minutes sitting in the colander. It looks like it's dry, right? Now I'm going to put this in the refrigerator to chill it, and after it comes out, we're going to put it back into the colander. You're going to see how much more liquid there is on the plate after this just sits in the refrigerator. Just to show you the remainder of the items that we're going to use, I put the olive oil and lemon juice. Then I sliced the avocado and just placed it in there. It'll keep the color. The tomatoes made in wedges, and the scallions made in very fine julienne, and I mean the red onions, and then there's the scallions. So that's about it. And of course we're going to put a little more salt and pepper to make the salad taste good. Now you can see how much more liquid has come out. Now we're going to put everything together. So into the bowl I put the mix, the greens, mushrooms, now the red onion, the scallions. You can imagine what that would have looked like if we would not have wilted the greens. Now the dressing. And that a little bit of salt that I put in when I sauteed the spinach and the, what is the name of the other green, whatever it was sufficient. I tasted it. Now the only thing you might want to put in there, which I love to use, is some sriracha hot chili sauce or black pepper. Now, if you've ever picked your own crab meat or bought the lump crab meat that sits on ice, which is very perishable, it looks much better than this pasteurized. This is like pressed, compressed, and depends on how it's picked, so the pieces don't look exactly, you know, whole, but it's still an excellent product. So now all we need to do is just toss this gently. You don't want to break up the crab meat any more than it is. And that was 6 ounces of crab meat. This is for 2 portions. Now if you look at the ratio of the crab meat against everything else, it's like perfect. So you won't be digging for the crab meat when you're eating this. That's great. It looks like a lot, and it is. So first thing, we're going to put a little bit into the Portebello mushroom. It's okay if it falls off because this is going to be sitting on the bed of this salad. So we'll get some nice height out of it. And look at all the crab meat. Now we have to get the plates and decorate the plate. So that's going to be, we do just 1 plate. Now this is an appetizer, or it could be a main course. But we're doing this as an appetizer. So we'll take a somewhat, use a square plate for appearance. Put the crab meat salad right there in the middle. That's what I love, lots of crab meat. Sit one of the mushrooms on top. You know, the great thing about having a salad is height. Now we'll take the tomatoes. We have the almonds. That's for a little crunchiness. So far everything looks healthy. And the tomato wedges with the points pointing outward like so. Gives it that pinwheel effect. The tomato. And now, what's the other item? Oh yes, of course, the avocado. The avocado we're going to lay point up like so. Please stay there. You know what? Stay the way I put you, and we'll be very happy. Because of the oil, it wants to move a little bit. And there you have it. Just let me rinse off my fingers. Four pieces of avocado would have been fine, but the thing is, That's a whole avocado. I have so many slices. We're going to eat them. So there's the stuffed crab meat appetizer. And if you want a lower view of it, just look at it like so. Coming up to the side to see the height. There you go. I hope you enjoy it.